So living in a condo building, there is a push and pull of rights. On the one hand, there's the expectation that you shouldn't be disturbing your neighbors through loud music, particularly late at night. But on the flip side of that, there's also an expectation of people living in a condo building that you're going to be subject to some disturbances that you might not otherwise have if you were living out in the countryside. So there's always a push and pull. The role of a condo board is to determine, what is reasonable within that context, and to enforce its rules and bylaws, properly passed, to that end.
The board's job is to enforce the bylaws, but it also has to interpret the bylaws. So when a bylaw says, an owner shall not make unreasonable noise that interferes with the use and enjoyment of others in their units, it has to, again, try and find that balance, trying to figure out, well, okay, some noise is going to be heard. Some, is the owner who's complaining or the occupant who's complaining particularly sensitive. Investigations sometimes need to take place. As a starting point, if you're thinking about revising your bylaws, what I would do as a board is get together and actually read your bylaws, go through them, set aside an entire meeting to go through the bylaws line by line by line, and start marking out the ones that maybe you don't understand, or the ones that you have issue with, or the ones that seem counter or contrary to the things that you are actually doing in the way that you are actually managing the corporation. Look for bylaws that you've never used or that you've never had to enforce, and say, why do we have this? Look for bylaws that people are consistently violating, and flag these. And then, as a starting point, you need to know what's in your current bylaws.
So the first issue is going to be understand your condo plan and your bylaws. I would say the condo plan is the first thing to look at, because you've got to know what the condo is and what the units are. You've got to know what is entailed in this condo. So get a firm understanding from the condo plan as to what things are, and then get a firm understanding as to what the bylaws provide for this particular building.